He knew a disaster was imminent. Looking into the eyes of the Buddha head, Xu Zhen turned off the light to try and prevent the villagers from making eye contact with him. Then he went to the hall and saw the murderer who ran over his daughter appear, which might be Xu Zhen's inner demon. He tried to control his emotions and hid in the bathroom, but then footsteps were heard outside. After a while, there was no sound, and Xu Zhen opening the door, there was no one outside. He ran toward the hall again and saw the villagers demanding compensation from the village chief, paying no attention to the man behind them, holding a scythe. He looked as if he was cursed by the Buddha head. The hall instantly fell into chaos, with everyone desperately fleeing outside. Some cursed, went mad and ran. This terrifying scene seemed like the end of the world. Meanwhile, the man with the scythe relentlessly pursued someone resembling a leader, smashing car windows intending to kill him. As the two were locked in a struggle, the driver, too, started to roll his eyes and began to curse. The man shouted 2 sentences, then stabbed him in the neck, and even the village chief's secretary began to mutate. However, there was a fierce man in the crowd who wasn't afraid of the mutated monster. With one swing, he broke the iron hammer, but there were too many monsters, so they had to hide in the hall. Once inside, Sang Biao speculated that yesterday's black rain had turned people into lunatics and tied up everyone who had been caught in the rain. On the other side, the soldiers had already sealed off Jinyang village, and Wei, who came looking for his wife, couldn't enter. He happened to meet the policewoman, and his son Huan Mao was also in the camp, so he prepared to drive Wei through a shortcut to rescue people. When they drove through the tunnel and reached the village, it had already been devastatingly corroded by the black rain, and there were a large number of crows circling in the sky, and in the next second, they swooped down towards the two of them. Come over. In the chaos, they hid in a room, but the crows relentlessly pursued them, frantically hitting the glass. Fortunately, before this, Wei had researched the situation, poured a bag of salt on the table, and drew a strange symbol, then quickly hid under the table. At that moment, the crows broke the glass and rushed in. Strangely, the crows didn't attack, as if they couldn't see them. Then, the master called to tell them that this disaster wasn't because of the black rain, but was related to the unearthed Buddha statue. The story originally dates back 600 years ago, when a villain, for his own selfish gain, massacred a large number of civilians, and then disguised himself as a monk to hide in a temple. After being discovered, he was immediately executed in the temple. After the villain's death, his spirit lingered, continuously wandering around the temple. Over time, the villain's resentment gradually increased, his power grew stronger, and eventually attached to the Buddha's head, deceiving people, causing them to kill each other upon seeing it. The best way is to find the Buddha head, cover its eyes, and then chant sutras to seal it again. The master specifically urged Wei to never look into the Buddha head's eyes, otherwise he would go mad like the other villagers. After learning how to save the villagers, the two rushed out of the room, and under the attack of the crows, Wei drew the charm on the car roof again, after which the crows stopped and gradually dispersed. The two quickly drove to the village committee. At the same time, because Zhen looked at the Buddha head's eyes, he had already mutated. He picked up a wooden stick from the ground and stabbed the guard's thigh, then quickly rushed towards the villagers. Everyone was so frightened that they kept retreating, just as Zhen was about to stab to death. When the young man suddenly kicked the village chief to the ground, Xiao Shuai saw the other was about to strike a fatal blow, so he rushed over and knocked the young man aside. During the fight, they accidentally shattered the glass that was isolating the Buddha head. However, everyone present still didn't know that what actually drove the villagers mad wasn't the black rain, but rather what was right in front of them. This Buddha head. Anyone who sees the Buddha's eyes will, like those crazed villagers, uncontrollably fight each other. Now everyone has seen the Buddha's eyes.